Hi everyone, I'm Joe. Today it's time for me to do a book review of Eric, written by Terry Pratchett. This was first published in 1990. It is the 9th Discworld novel and the 4th novel set within the Rincewind character subseries. And it has another rather interesting distinction, and that is, to do with its size, this is the first and only novella that is a part of the officially numbered Discworld series. So, first of all, what is the Discworld? It is quite simply a large round disc which by itself rests on the back of 4 very large elephants which stand on the back of a really large wall turtle which swims through space as though it was water. And Eric makes use of the strange aspect of the Discworld and the sort of mad idea of it rather more noticeably in a more obvious way than frankly almost any other of the earlier Discworld novels, because this is shorter, it's more blatant with what it's trying to do. I mean, it's more of an adventure, there's less deeper meaning to it, although there are a few little points here or there. And this is just a romp, frankly, set in the Discworld, which some people don't like this as much. I think it's a interesting sort of addition to the Discworld because it adds a few interesting areas and a few ideas that doesn't normally get mentioned anywhere else, and I personally appreciate the fact that this is part of the official Discworld series. So the plot starts off with a young boy called, unsurprisingly, Eric. He is the Discworld's first and so far only, thankfully, demonologist. He one day is trying to summon a demon in his bedroom amidst all the clutter, as you obviously do as a teenage boy. However, it doesn't go exactly according to plan, because there are other people and other sort of minds behind the scenes that are manipulating matters, and rather than him sending a summoning a rather useful demon who could actually grant his wishes and show him the rather strange and naive sights that he thinks that you want to see. However, he gets Rincewind the wizard turning up in his bedroom, promptly followed by his mum calling him for dinner because he has to go and have his dinner as he's a teenage boy. And so Rincewind is stuck in his bedroom whilst the teenage boy is having his lunch or dinner. It sounds very strange and sort of funny because it's almost as though it's Rincewind in a non-Discworld novel, but it really is Discworld actually. It's just in a very normal situation that people in the real world are in, when you get called for dinner as, as a young child. Anyway, from here it goes a little bit more wrong for Eric and indeed Rincewind, because Eric decides that as a demon, because the luggage, which is Rincewind's basically very large sea chest with lots of legs that follows him about, and he's extremely aggressive to anybody that threatens Rincewind, follows him. This proves to Eric that Rincewind is a demon. Therefore, he clicks his fingers essentially and says, right, these are my wishes, make them come true. And Rincewind makes a joke of this, says, oh yes, it's not that easy, tries it, and somehow the first wish that he does comes true, apparently. Now obviously there are more behind the scenes here than meets the eye, and this basically is the basis for a series of adventures through time and space for the two of them, where they are rushing off to several different environments and getting into very strange and weird and wonderful situations. Basically just having a big, grand sort of boys' adventure, pretty much. Two of the significant places that they go to is an area called Tossort, which is basically meant to be Troy. They go there, however, during the siege of Troy. In other words, the Trojan Wars, and indeed, the Trojan horse. Although in the Discworld, of course, it's not just a horse. There's Trojan hedgehogs, Trojan rabbits and so on. Mad and just ridiculous, but it does work in its way. And you know, there's Helen and Troy involved, and all the heroes and such that are traditionally associated with Troy and all that. After that sort of area is sort of over with, let's say, they end up essentially going to hell, or Discord hell, which is not quite like the hell you'd think about it, because this is hell that's been under new management, let's say, because obviously the previous manager of hell, namely Satan, he retired and there's a new one, he took over management, and his management style is less traditional and more modern. A lot of the demons don't like the fact that he's a modern demon and doesn't go in for the traditional, torturing of people. He wants people to fill out lots of forms and things, which to a lot of demons that's actually worse than, the traditional torture. So this presents problems, and this is not good for, well, mainly Rincewind and Eric, because going to hell when you're still alive, I mean, it's not exactly a holiday. I mean, it almost seems like a holiday to the reader, and indeed at one point Pratchett does sarcastically mention about the fact that Rincewind is thinking that at some future point he may end up showing pictures to people of, this is the interesting couple that we met on the plains of hell. Sounds strange, frankly it is, and indeed that's the whole purpose of this book. It's a fast-paced fantasy romp through the Discord, through environments that Pratchett has vaguely mentioned, sort of made allusions to before. I mean, that something like the Soul or Trojan War would exist in the Discord, but twisted. That a version of Discord Hell will exist. He's never mentioned them directly, but all that elements of Earth are in the Discord and twisted in other books. This is just presenting and improving upon, in a certain way, certain noticeable ones of them to what I think is rather amusing effect. As far as ideas and themes are concerned with this book, unlike the other books, which I tend to think have deeper meanings and indeed certainly often political ideas and things and sociological, this doesn't really have anything that major. I mean, yes, there is a certain aspect of responsibility because Rincewind is meant to be the adult. Eric's obviously not. So there's a certain parental or substitute parental idea there. But frankly, the major thing is this is just an adventure, simply sort of almost like a boy's adventure. Frankly, a teenage boy summons a demon, and you end up wandering around the place and getting into trouble and surviving somehow. And it's just brilliant, especially with the characters of the two of them, because Rincewind is a returning character. He is a failed wizard who is a coward by his own word, and he survives by running away from everything that threatens him. This is a useful trait when, for instance, you go to hell, and running away from hell is sort of beneficial, unsurprisingly. Eric is completely naive. He's obviously a teenage boy. He has no idea what's, the way the world really works. So he gets into trouble and therefore gets Rincewind into trouble, and that dynamic of the two of them is brilliant. And what with other major supporting characters, which I'm not going to go into now, though, because it is short. If I go into too much detail on other characters, the major supporting one, it gives away plot lines, and I think it's best to discover for yourself. So overall, I'd say this is a worthwhile Discord novel, or novella technically, that is worth reading. And indeed, it's just a interesting little, almost diversion in a way. But it's not just a forgettable diversion. I think this is actually quite memorable. It's just milder though. It's memorable but mild in terms of the Discord. It doesn't have the big ideas in it that other Discord novels have. It does, however, have the fun and definitely the sarcasm and the fact that Pratchett takes real world situations, bits of history, and twists and turns them and makes them kind of ridiculous in an amusing way, which I personally greatly enjoy. So basically, if you're going to read this world, I would definitely recommend reading this as and when you can get hold of it. And with that said, that is it for this review. So if you've read Eric, or you would like to, then please leave a comment. A link to the book, as well as all my social media links, can be found in the description box below. And with that said, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.